Let's get into it, man.
Should we get straight into it? I think it's only time, and I think it's only right that we do, because Manchester is red, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Manchester City 1, Manchester United 2. The comeback of all comebacks. It was classic Fergie time, as Ruben Amorim had said as well. Ernest, man, what happened? What the hell went on in that game? Because I don't know what game I was watching, and I watched 90 minutes of it.
I'll be honest. I'm one of those guys that I like to see the intricacies in games like that. People said the game was dead. I don't remember a good quality Manchester derby. I don't remember a good quality one where both sides were playing well, high stakes, and they were just doing their thing. So to me, this was regular scheduled programming. We did our thing. But at the same time, I think City not turning up made people say it's not a good quality game. And I'm like, bruv, I'm used to this. I'm used to it. People were capping as well. I remember one summer they no, because I mean, when I say that, I mean people said this is the worst Manchester derby they've ever watched. I remember one where they beat us 2-0. They had Fernando and Fernandinho in midfield. That game was an absolute stinkfest. They were just boring. It was just like, we're trying to get the ball into midfield. 2 Brazilian defensive midfielders stopped the whole shebang. Do you know what I mean? In this one, I think it was a mid-off. And I think it was end to end in a specific in a type of way. I think this had shades of our performance at the Emirates the other day, where between the 18-yard boxes, Man City had nothing for us. They had nothing for us. Haaland didn't have a sniff. I think Maguire had an excellent game. I think Maguire, and Lissandro in particular had really good games. I think Onana was good. Didn't really have much to do outside of the corners. What else? I think Ugate's starting to really prod on and show people that he's actually he's not the best midfielder in the world, but he's good at what he's good at, just dogged work.
Where are you on him, Ernest? Because
60 million is too much, but he's not a bad
60 million.
Yeah, he costs us 60 million. Wow. I'd rather have him doing what he does than having 52 million Fred in midfield. Do you know what I mean? Where Fred was more energy and more tenacity, he's more just put the fires out before they get into arson. So yeah, essentially, he's okay. I told you guys when the guy Amorim was announced, Kobbie Mainoo for me is not the midfielder for a 3-4-3. And I told you guys when he first came in, I said Kobbie Mainoo plays like a Ghanaian. And slowly people are starting to see what I'm saying. He plays like he's telling his son to go get the remote. Like, he's really, really slow. He's very good at bringing the ball up into midfield, but I think we need more energy than that, man. But the happiest bit of news I experienced was when they said Rashford is out of the squad. I said, yes, this is what I've been looking forward to. A manager with just a nutsack. Do you know what I mean?
Testicular fortitude.
Just testicular, fortitude. He's the Rashford thing was brilliant. I thought, because David was telling me against Arsenal, why didn't he start? I said, brother, just because you can score a goal doesn't mean your overall performance is going to contribute to the team. He would have scored against City and done nothing. We would have been playing with 10 men for the rest of that derby. Do you know what I mean? So I'm happy he didn't play.
Are you at a point with I don't want to make it about Rashford because obviously he didn't play, but are you at a point with Rashford where it's simply like that you don't even trust that Amorim can have a plan to get the best out of him?
So in the beginning, I thought maybe Amorim might test him out up top until the remainder of the season. This has been a fast track into what I've wanted for a couple years now, because that's why the whole point, I don't mean to keep bringing up the whole point that you and Adrian were making about is he locked in? The guy has not been incentivized to play good for us since that first season under Ten Hag. So when the links came with Arsenal, I thought, he's going to get a new environment and he's going to see what his mindset is, where his mindset is really at. On the flip side, I think if he goes to Arsenal, I think he's going to be in flipping Nusret every week. So yeah, I think because Marcus Rashford is paid too well. He's paid too well. So that's why I'm not mad at going to New York, because if someone gave you $350 a week and said international break, take 5 days off, you're not going to be running up the steps like you're flipping Rocky. Like you're not going to be doing any of that kind of stuff. You're going to be spending your money as much as you can. So I've always been of the belief that as much as people might say Rashford is dead, you're entitled to that opinion. I think Rashford is in need of a new headspace. He's in need of a new environment. And I don't know if he wants that. He doesn't look like he's asked to be there. He doesn't look like he wants to play football, at least at this club. So they fast forwarded it and said, like, you know, he's up for sale in January. And I'm like, wow, I did not see that coming this quickly. I'm happy about it, but didn't see that happening this quickly. The thing that I think United fans need to be cautious about, and I tweeted it, is in the same vein we praised Ahmad. I think we need to be very careful with the club we support, because they're very, very good, masterful at taking the shield away from the player and allowing the arrows of media scrutiny and like biased, you know, top red man in the van critique to just come through and obliterate these players. I don't think we do well as far as player development and player protection, because Ahmad is getting the same praise Rashford got in his Manchester derby debut. He did not make Demichelis and scored the only goal of the game. He was the star in the hood for like 2 months. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's all well and good that Ahmad, a player who I've wanted to play since 2021, who's had to wait for not only Greenwood, not only Sancho, not only Anthony, he's had to wait for Amari Forson to get into this starting 11. Do you know what I mean? So I'm glad people are finally seeing that the Ahmad shouts were not, you know.
Yeah, because obviously you've been talking about him for a long time.
Yeah.
Even when, you know, man was out in Sunderland and that. And I was like,
and he would play for Sunderland and Rangers, and it's like, guys, he's better than barring Greenwood, he's better than everyone here. Why is he not? Do you know what I mean? So it was just really great to see that he's finally getting his shine. He's been at the heart of like 2 big wins in 2024 for Man United, Liverpool in the FA Cup and City in the derby. Big wins for us. Do you know what I mean? Even if you weren't a Ten Hag fan, those would have given you a little bit of hope about the future. But again, I've seen Ahmad dancing with Onana in the changing room today, and I'm like, guys, I've seen this movie before, because when Pogba was dancing with Lingard, Roy Keane said, if they haven't won anything, why are they dancing? And I'm like, guys, I'm very, very cautious now about the way in which the narrative against certain players, and it's unfortunate because most of them are black.
Speaking of standards, Manchester City. I mean,
I told you lot.
The drop in standards, shall we say?
My God.
Okay, so here's an image I'm trying to get through, right? Because you already know where my stance is with Manchester City. I think they're still firmly in this title race. I don't think they're not. I can't confirm and say they're not going to win the league this year. I don't have that confidence whatsoever. Because with everything going on, 1 win in 11 and everything else like that, they are still, I think they're 5th in the league, aren't they? I think they're still however many points, 6 points. Is it 6 points or 9 points? I'm not sure. Behind Liverpool. This is a bad time for City. But when you look at the numbers, it suggests that this is repairable and City can still win this league. What are your T's?
Guys, they have forgotten how to play football. That's it. I know the Rodri injury, everyone's going to put, bro, these guys have forgotten how to play football. Doku is coming inside forward, trying to play. Spread the pitch, bruv. City at their best, the wingers are wide. You leave Foden and De Bruyne to do their job. Gundogan, I know he's old, but bro, you get the ball in space in the final third, and you're going backwards still. Bruh,
did you think that's probably part of the problem, Davids? Like two of the people you mentioned there, their combined age is like 65. Legs are gone, bro.
No. I know legs are gone, but bro, up here you still got it, bruv. Man, them have just forgotten how to play. Turn blood, all this possession business. I hate this new generation of Premier League midfielders, bro. Possession's not always, just keep, bro, get the ball and turn, bro. Man, I'm not turning, blood. Everyone's playing safe. And that's where their mistakes. I had the funny thing, even in the first half when they score, like, United are going to get something here. Because see, I'm not serious, bro.
City and United have the same problem. They both lack quality. When you look at Mateus Nunes, Pep's first assessment of him was his first touch was poor. This is his second season, I believe. He is not it. Whatever it looks like, he is not it.
I mean, what he's doing, he had an awful game yesterday.
Bro.
But the thing is, it dawned on me that he was playing, was it right back?
Nice.
And I wonder why. Because
I think Pep is experimenting with players that are just not of the level. And he's thinking that the 28 guys are still here.
Go back to basics, bro. When things are going wrong, go back to basics, bro. Because right now, Guardiola, bro, your team's not.
Where's the basics, Steve? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm stumped. I'm stumped looking at this Man City team. Like, I genuinely don't know how to get the best out of them.
I think when Manchester City don't have the ball, I can clearly see why they concede so many chances and why it's important, like why it's easy to break them down. They're not very good at pressing. They're languid. You can play through them. There's always an opportunity to catch them on the break because they have a what's the word? Compact shape. Yeah. When they have the ball, I don't know what I'm with Adrian in that. I don't know what's going wrong with them on the ball. I don't get it.
The problem is, and Arsenal also have this problem, they've lost their best six. The one who knows how to dictate tempo, he's in the position, you man, do not come back here, bruv. I got this covered. I don't need you over here. Go play. I'll protect them. That's what they're missing. Kovacic ain't it. Gundogan ain't it. They need to go in the market for a backup for Rodri. That is pretty much it. Because everyone is just flustered. What's his? I don't even know how to play. He's inverting. He don't know. Everyone's just in each other's way. That's why it just looks mad.
But these performances were coming, man. These performances were coming. If you watched them last year, guys, they were getting away with bloody murder last season.
I can't remember.
And I believe was it? No, Oscar was talking about Madrid. He wasn't talking about City. But Oscar kept saying like Madrid have done this all like for time, but City have done this as well for time. They get away with it, and it's almost like because they've won, no one can really, at least in this country, pundits ain't really going to give them the critique until it gets bad, and it's like, oh my gosh, Guardiola really isn't that good at defending. Do you know what I mean? Doku isn't great apart from his 1v1 ability. Do you know what I mean? Foden is a system player. Like, if Haaland can't play football apart from finishing. Like, these things were there last year.
Hasn't scored in a year.
Yeah, for real. Grealish really has been pants for 3 years.